Hey peeps, what is up? This is Eld from Silvermoon again. I'm about to bring you another guide for this time for the Windwalker monk class in Missa Pandaria. And I said that wrong, of course. Anyhow, so today, I'm going to be talking about the new class called the Monk and Mop and its Windwalker spec. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to know is the stats, of course. So your stat priorities. So in the beta currently, there is actually two different ways you can set up your Windwalker Monk. The first way is to actually, like your priority is agility, hit, expertise, haste, mastery, and then crit. But there's also another setup that some people have been saying is viable, and I haven't done the math on this, but it kind of makes sense. Which is agility, hit, expertise, mastery, haste, and then crit. So basically, the two different things is when you switch to haste and mastery. Your mastery, in this case, you can read it here. Basically, what it does is every once in a while you get an extra proc on one of your abilities that costs chi normally, but then they don't cost any chi. So therefore, it might have a little bit more burst if you have a lot of mastery. But the haste I find is more sustained DPS. So I guess in higher levels of gear, maybe the mastery build will be a little bit better. But for lower level gear like me, so since I'm in greens and blues, as you can tell, I haven't been playing much on the beta. But the haste build is probably slightly better for what my gear is in right now. And as you can see, there's all these buffs on here, and that's just because Blizzard implemented these raid testing dummies a little while ago. And basically, they give you these buffs so you can test your DPS theoretically on a patchwork fight in a raid. So that's kind of helpful. Now for the towns. So basically, there are the talent tree here that Blizzard made. They changed it up for Mop, which is kind of nice because honestly the old talent tree wasn't working out. Now, I'm not going to tell you what every single ability does because then that would be like a 1 hour video of just me trying to explain all the abilities. So I'll just go through what I have and hopefully only take 5 minutes. Now, for the momentum, your roll, this will increase in movement speed when you roll or chi to a tor. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. Basically, every time you roll, your movement speed increases by 25% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 2 times. So, basically, whenever I click my roll ability, I get a nice little speed boost here, which will be awesome for raids. I don't see any drawbacks to it because the other towns are good too, but I don't say they're as effective for a lot of movement fights. And let's see. Oh, they added a new ability here. Let's see. Instantly increase the target volume. Oh, it's just a PvP ability here. But if you are into PvP, Tiger Lust would be very good for you. And this one, oh, wow, I can't speak today. Anyhow, basically this ability is also good for movement, but I find momentum is just slightly better for keeping up if you have to move around during the fight. Now for the second tier, these are level 30 abilities here. I prefer Chi Burst just because of the fact that once it hits a target, it will deal damage to the target and it has a 40-yard range. So if you have to stay at range for any reason while you're in a raid, this ability would be very good. And also I believe once it passes through, if it passes through any allies in its path, it'll actually heal them too, so that's quite a nice ability. Now Power Strikes, every time you jab, you'll get 2 charges, or is it 3 charges, something like that. Anyhow, you gain an extra charge. No, it's gonna be 3 charges. You'll gain an extra charge of chi, and basically your chi allows you to use your major abilities like your Blackout Kick, your Tiger Palm, your Rising Sun Kick, stuff like that. But yeah, this is one I would say is the best out of all of them for the monks, or Windwalker monks at least. Now for the level 60 tier, I personally chose Leg Sweep because it has a shorter cooldown than charging Ox Wave, and the paralyzation I'm not even sure if that's a word, paralyzation. It is a word now. Anyhow, um, is nice, but I find that with being able to knock down all your enemies within 5 yards and stunning them for 5 seconds is a lot more effective. Now for the level 75 talent tree, these ones are debatable because it depends on how you want to play your character. Personally, I chose Diffuse Magic, and it reduces all spell damage taken by 90% and clears the magical effects on you, reversing them back to the original caster if they're within 40 yards and lasts for 6 seconds. So basically that's very, very awesome for PvP, which I like to do from time to time. But in all, I say it's just a great cooldown to use if you're being targeted by magic damage. Now for the last tier, right now I wouldn't say there really is an option for Windwalker monks for this last tier. The only option that's viable is the Invoke Exu and the White Tiger. Basically, if you play a paladin, think of it as your guardian. It does medium amount of damage, I would say. It's better than the Guardian's damage, but it does increase your DPS. The other two are just abilities that I find that are similar to the second tier. So it really, or the level 30 tier, whatever you want to call it. So it's really up to you how you want to play your character, but personally I prefer this one over here. Now onto glyphs.